good to go. Okay, guys, thank you for coming. Welcome to the Hive. This is a premiere in VR chat, and I'm really, really excited to be here. Um, uh, since the news of Altspace a few weeks ago, we, quickly try to move a lot of things over into VR chat, and the VR chat community has been very, very awesome, gracious. Have helped get our stages ready, helped us move over our avatars, all kinds of things, and I can't thank you guys enough on behalf of all of us at Altspace. And there is a crowd at Altspace right now. They're streaming us, so you can go ahead and wave and say hello to them. It's for our gear users who can't join us here, so they're watching back home. Well, today, first of all, let me just tell you, I'm Vivian. I guess you could say I'm from Altspace, but guess what? I've had a VR chat account a lot longer than Altspace, but Altspace is a lot of where I spend my time. I know, where I spend my time. And there was this contest back in May, and they just had this open audition. Literally, the only reason I went up was one. I think it was like Steven, whoever was doing the camera, was like, "You get an avatar," and I was like, "That's awesome." Went on stage. I told Just John to shut up, and somehow I won. So anyway,
you told me to shut up is why I joined it.
Exactly, yeah. So, Just John here is actually a really good friend of mine. He's really awesome for the most part when he's quiet. And then Sloan, who is not awesome, who's not my friend, somehow got on here anyway. No, I'm kidding. Well, if you know Sloan, you know Sloan. If you don't know Sloan, on behalf of Altspace, we apologize. So, we're here today. We're going to talk about. We're going to talk about. All right, there he goes. Hi, Mom, at home. So we're going to talk about the move from Altspace over to VR chat. There's a lot of developers from Altspace who really went above and beyond to get us a place to go. So Whack-A-Mole and all the guys, you see them up here. They did such a good job of helping us import the avatars, and just quickly and very briefly, there's a lot of really ugly things going on in the world right now, in America and elsewhere. So, when things like this happen, it's really nice to see that, like, our virtual world, can kind of come together and help each other, because it's a game. A lot of people see it as a game, but to a lot of people, they use VR chat and Altspace as, like, their home and their comfort, and how they meet people that they fall in love with, or all kinds of things. It's become like a family for a lot of people. So to see the people come together has been really, really great to watch. So we're just gonna talk about that briefly here. I mean, isn't this set is so awesome? Really quick thanks to Kira and Gunter for helping. Owlboy has been helpful. Ghoster, who volunteered his time to video this, and I am also doing one more show, at least, if you guys will have me back, next Thursday, and it's going to be a Walking Dead theme, and Invader worked on a set, and it's really awesome. So, again, thank you so much for having us, all the VR chatters.
Carl.
So, all right, Sloan's going to say things. I apologize now.
Carl,
Just John. How's your move been? Did you use VR chat before?
I've used it a few times before it went on Steam. Tested it out, definitely liked it, but I enjoyed the socialization in Altspace, of course, so that's mostly just what was more equated for me. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually, what I really loved about VR chat, which I kept talking about, was the battle disc. I was like, that's so cool. Like, I don't know. We don't have anything like that in Altspace, so I always really like that. But and a lot of us sometimes in Altspace be like, let's go over to VR chat and play, right? But I didn't actually get to dive deep into the community in here. So actually, this has kind of been like a blessing in disguise, this closing. So how long have you been on Altspace? I forgot, like over a year.
Over a year at this point, probably closer to a year and a month, I think, at this point. I think I joined in July of last year.
Okay, yeah, so pretty close to a year then. So when I heard that the news at Altspace, actually, I got the news while I was doing a presentation, and I kept getting kicked out of my event. And John stepped in for me and interviewed the guests for me. But it was during that getting in and out, I got an email directly from some of the staff that I was working with, and it was really hard to process because one, I do not the show. I mean, the show's for fun, but I do other work on there, and I was really sad to see that there's potentially we're going to lose a lot of our friends that are gear users. So, what did you hear around the community? How did you take it?
Well, like I said, I've been around, being around that long. It's become a definite part of my social life, definite part of my routine. And when I heard it was closing, it was a major bummer because I am a friend. Me and you share the same friends who are on gear for the most part. And I've met a lot of them who eventually moved to VR, but it's also the loss of the potential to meet those friends who could be on gear VR as well, especially as VR explodes a little bit more.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Like Sloan, for instance. I don't know how you got on here. You're a gear user. How did you take the news? Sloan cried, by the way, like a baby. Okay.
I was pissed.
Okay.
What the hell is this fucking tail?
All right.
Good try on that one.
I'm going to embarrass him here because the day after we heard, there was already a poetry event that was scheduled, and it ended up just being a lot of people sharing what Altspace meant to them. And Sloan, he's a musician, and he sang, and it was very moving, and it was a really good song, and it's on our Facebook group if you guys want to check it out. So, despite himself, he does have a good heart here, and his loud voice, etc. But you can't run on this guy, okay? So anyway, well, one of the things was the staff at Altspace. It was just like we couldn't believe it because they were really going to launch that avatar thing, which everyone was complaining like we want more avatars, right? And so they were about to launch that. I was getting ready for my show. There was all these events that were coming up, so it was just this big shock because we were thinking, wow, they had like 35,000 active users, and they're just gonna let it go. And
they had just had the Bill Nye on there.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, well, Bill Nye was just here. Maybe that was the reason. I don't know. But we definitely speculated, and I did talk to some of the staff prior to the show. And if anyone doesn't know, apparently some people still haven't found out yet that Altspace is back. They just announced it, and so they will be starting up again. Right. Yes, that's what happened. So they are going to be up and running. We don't have a lot of details, but I can tell you what the staff said. One is that they actually dressed up as the guest avatars, the default avatar, during this close to see what happens. Because, as you know, they were like, okay, it's going to shut down at this time. Actually, the last minute, I was with VR chatters. I invited them to my room. We held hands for some odd reason, and then we thought we were going to have a blackout. No blackout, so we're like, okay. So we went into the campfire to celebrate, and nothing happened. So we just, waited until, when are they going to shut the lights? And so then every day after that, we just came back every day. And the Altspace staff came back incognito. And I apologize for anything I might have said, not knowing. That's like the ultimate test of whether you're a nice person, right? When someone's in disguise. But they were very touched by, I guess, how we kept things running. Well, when I use we loosely, I was just there reaping the benefits. But they put a lot of users on as admin, right? Yep. And they kind of kept it going. So I know, I see Shushu here. They kept the place going, and it was very cool. And I think that's very similar to VR chat because you guys don't have a huge team, right? But you have your community that kind of keeps things going. So again, we just kind of kept waiting to hear what was going on. So we actually have Chris back here. Chris, if you want to come out, he's one of our regular users. We hang out with him all the time, and then he was one of the admins, and they got all these superpowers, which I'm not going to say they didn't abuse. But Chris, you want to come out?
So much abuse. Right. Hanging out in the campfire, getting laser beamed for about good 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. They're drawing all over, putting up videos. So here's Chris.
Hey, Chris, you want to move over here?
Sit down on this lovely couch. This is so cool. We can't do this in all cities, by the way. Just standing around. So Chris, are you? Can you? I can't hear you. Chris?
Use sign language.
Did you mute yourself, Chris?
There we go. No, I muted this. Anyways, it's a stupid headset issue. We're back. I'm here. Hey, guys.
Hey, Chris.
It's got
So
like
Chris
its
is one
own
of
mute
our-
button.
Chris is one of our temporary admins, right? So, the good news is that Altspace is back. The bad news is I'm sorry to hear you're out of a job. So, what are you gonna do now that? Yeah, right. Yeah, they're very well-paid job.
It was
Starbucks is hiring.
it was not well paid at all, but it was just awesome to kind of keep everybody in line and do our best to just keep Altspace the way it was, even though there was no one really monitoring the system outside of us as the community admins. So I have been putting on my own meetup for LGBTQ. And my plan was originally to bring it into VR chat, but now that Altspace is returned, or is coming into its returning ways, then I probably will just stick over there, and I do it every Thursday. But it was fun, kind of abusing some of the awesome things that they hadn't even shown all of the actual admins because they rolled some things out right at the end. So,
Well, let's hear it. Discussion time.
Yeah. It was, like they were saying, we had laser pointers that you can, show and point at things, and then there was a pen that you could just draw anywhere and draw on people and draw on space, kind of like you could in Sculpt Together, but just a specific color. And you could put up a web page and go anywhere and show it off to everybody, and it was just kind of cool. I'm not a developer in any way, shape, or form, but just by doing that, I kind of learned some things and codes I can put in, and I could fly anywhere outside of bounds, and, I could talk like God from anywhere, so everybody would have to listen to me, so that was kind of cool. It was a good way to quiet a room.
Listen to the green and blue
kind of. I mean, then you forget to, then you accidentally turn it on, and everybody's like, "Who is this guy talking in my ear?" Because it sounds like you're right next to that person, no matter if I'm across the room. So, but I'm really glad that Altspace is coming back in full swing, and that'll happen soon. But we're still here. The lights are still on, and hopefully they'll be on for many, many years to come. And to see the growth to come to the community and everything is just going to be awesome.
Yeah, so one of the really cool things is, Chris runs the LGBTQ meetup in Altspace, and so he just continued to keep it going, and he actually has a meetup coming up right now, shortly in Altspace, and there's 130 people signed up, so it's really cool, and that was definitely one of the things I was thinking, wow, you had such this great community, and I'm glad that we can continue to keep that going.
Yeah, it's every week the number of people that want to come is just growing in a huge way. So even though it's interest, it's still you see the fruit come out of it with people showing up and telling their stories, and we change people's lives just by being there. So
that was the wrong word, you prick. What the hell's wrong with you? That is below
I
you
see
and
all
beside
you guys
me.
in Altspace. Why don't you throw out some hearts for Chris? All right, to offset Sloan here.
Fruit was the wrong word to use on
Yes.
that. Fruit come out of it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I tried not to laugh and then Sloan did.
Hey!
Oh my
Don't fucking look at me!
Altspace.
Why don't you tell me how
Oh my
happy
gosh.
everybody is too? Watch out.
Love you, Chris.
What's the word for happy over there? Can you tell me that?
It's okay. Just go ahead. Just wink at me and we'll be gone. Just do it. Well, Chris, thank you so much. They did say, I talked to Lisa and Steven and, Jordan. They also just how touched they were that everyone kind of kept things going. I can say that, it was been very easy for a lot of us to go rogue, which I'm not going to say that we didn't, but, that we did have some incidents with some trolls, and Chris and and Whack-A-Mole. I mean, they really just stepped up to really make sure that everyone that was still there was still being able to have a good time and feel comfortable in Altspace. And then we had this influx of new users, which I should have been suspicious because all these guests had hands, they knew how to use the buttons and everything. We should have known that it was Altspace staff. So, you know what the
That's
funny
true.
thing
I
about
didn't even think about that.
yeah, right. I was like, I should have known. You guys were like, you knew how to move things. You didn't ask questions. There was no feedback. One of the things, if you're in the VR chat, and is that our guest avatar looks like Chris. It's white and blue. And I was telling Lisa a funny story. If you know Ben, who is producing the show right now, he dressed like the guest avatar here in VR chat, and he had the guest username, and he asked someone in VR chat, how do I change my avatar? And whoever he said that to in VR chat said, click on the triangle.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Oh my god.
So it was just really funny to, you know, I just thought that was such a funny story because, you know, like wherever we go, it's really just about the people, you know what I mean? So I just found that so really funny. I think there was a question over here. Did you have a question for Chris? Yes.
Yes.
What about the bullies?
What about them?
I've heard this.
Oh.
I've heard some of the people came from Altspace have been have been came here not for the reason to try VR chat, but to also get away from bullies in Altspace VR. That's really got into me because I have a really serious issue about that.
I've not really run into any bullies.
Yeah, so I
out there
would say
personally.
though that you know there definitely are sometimes just personal
Yeah,
conflicts.
and I haven't
so,
been drinking that
yeah,
much.
Yeah.
I would say I mean we have Sloan. He's our biggest bully, but also our lovable uncle that we only want over once in a while when we
A
have
little
to
drunken
have him.
uncle,
No,
redneck
yeah,
uncle.
exactly. But well, to address that, you
Hillbilly.
know, unfortunately, there's always going to be personal conflicts that just happens. But I will tell you that you know, Allspace does such a great job of taking care of the people because there are if you don't know we have a really good mix in Allspace. A lot of people who are like it's pretty split 50-50 with, you know, women and men, and there's a lot of people who aren't techie and they're not tech savvy, so we have a lot of different diverse people. So I would say that in my experience where I've actually had some bullies, so to speak,
Speak up.
Allspace they've been really good about addressing it. And also, I've also had experience where I just kind of talk to the person sometimes. So there are bullies everywhere, and I would definitely say that there definitely was talk between Allspace and VR chat about, you know, like, oh no, Allspacers, oh no, VR chatters, and it's unfortunate talk because that's like, I mean, you could do that with anything and everywhere. But I would like to think about the people who are the actual good people who really liked both VR chat and Allspace.
Just make sure you don't bring here the bullies.
Well,
There are
right,
sensitive
all I
people
can
here
say
in
is
VR
okay.
chat.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I think there's sensitive people all over the place, myself included. Sloan, that's
Oh,
you.
hell.
Thank you.
Chris.
What? No, look, all I'm saying is, dude, is, yeah, I get it. There are some sensitive people here in VR chat, but look, if you want a prick like me to go away, ignore me. All right, I'll sober up. I'll log off. I'll come back the next day and say hi to you. But I get your point. But,
Well, yeah, I will.
There's also
I've invited Sloan into rooms just to kick him. So I've done that before. But you know, Chris here, he has to get onto his next event.
Invite people into a room just to tell them to shut up.
Yes, exactly, like Just John. So, okay, like I love Just John, but it's just my thing. I just tell him to shut up sometimes, and it just kind of became our thing. And so he actually, if he goes into some of our rooms that were created by our group of people, there's a big sign over his head that says "Shut up." Like it just follows him around everywhere, and it's kind of great. But I want to say thank you to Chris. I know he has to get on to his next event. So, Chris, thank you so much for coming. And, you know, on behalf of all of us, thank you, to Leah, to Craig and Imran. You guys kept the place running. You guys did such an awesome job. I know they're going to give you some hearts
Leah!
over in Altspace. So, I'm going to have Mish come out. once Chris can you? There you go. Chris, have fun at your event. I will see you afterwards.
Yeah, cool, Fear. I really hope the fruits of your labor blossom, dude.
Everybody, welcome Mish to the stage. This is Mish. She's a Altspacer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Mish, are you there? You go. Okay, so I invited Mish because she is newer to Altspace, right? So she kind of started maybe like a month ago, was it?
Yeah, it was a month ago. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and she quickly, found friends, made groups of friends, and, started this whole crew of people who were newer to Altspace, and they quickly just kind of joined our community, and then suddenly this happened. So I kind of wanted to get her perspective, because a lot of people have been in Altspace for a long time, VR chat for a long time, and you're kind of immersed in the culture already. So I wanted to hear from someone who just kind of joined it and see, like, what your take on it was, the whole thing.
All right. Well, I started Altspace about a month ago, and this is about the same time I got the Oculus Rift, because it's on sale still, and it's $400. So I was like, okay. So I wanted to see if there was any cool like social apps, and I found Altspace, and I thought it was really cool at first. I had to get used to all the controls and everything like that, and then I met all these wonderful people. I met a great group of friends, and I'm still growing my friends list and everything. But when I was there, I helped a lot of people out. I kind of felt like I had like a lot of experiences, just going around talking to people and listening to, their lives and stuff like that. So I've been helping the people in there, the new people who came into the the welcome area.
Oh, yeah, right.
So, yeah, and then they closed it off for me, and then I couldn't go in there after 8 days, so it was really weird.
So you took to it fast, so you knew, and then you went back in there to help new people.
I picked up things really quick, so, like, I was like, okay, might as well help a lot of people that were in there and get them, kickstarted, instead of them just going in as guests and getting badgered by, like, all the people that were already in the campfire. So, yeah, that was an experience, and then it was exactly on my birthday. I had a birthday bash. I think it was like July 27th or 26th or something like that, to celebrate my birthday. And I had like a big group of friends in like a room, and we were celebrating. And then Chris, he's not up here anymore, but he came in and he read the letter saying that Altspace was closing, and we were having a good time. I was like, are you kidding me? So my birthday party was ruined, my birthday bash, and it was really unfortunate. But then we went back to the campfire, and everyone was just like freaking out, and I was surprised too. I was just like, how is this even possible? I was here for a month, and it was just heartbreaking for me, because Altspace was a place for me to help with my anxiety. I have really bad anxiety issues and social issues sometimes. So having Altspace there really helped me, along the way.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of funny, because a lot of us talk on this Discord that existed before Altspace's Discord, right? And like we talk every day, like during work, on and off, and then at night we go and we hang out, and then we stay up and we're like, we gotta get to bed, but like, no, we want to hang out. Like, okay, but we literally talk to each other all day today, But I think it's right. It's kind of funny, but how like the friendships that form and how fast they form. So and then Mish is really awesome. I mean, I feel like you just like brought in like this whole different kind of crew, and I think like this energy is really awesome. So I'm really glad that we kind of get to stick around. So and you're purple. There's it's a purple crew, it's
a lot
their
of purple.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a color committee. It's really just me, actually. I just go around and say, you should change your colors. So, but let's speculate for a minute here. We actually don't know anything about Altspace, but let's speculate. I think, I don't know. I heard that I think almost everyone is going back. I think so. I think it would be the same without a lot of people.
Hard to say. Hard to say yet. I mean, yeah.
I know that they have a skeleton crew. That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at the most part, I expect most of the admins to come back. At least, hopefully.
Yeah, but they didn't say anything about the funding. They just said that, like, just the outpour of, like, the support. I wrote 20,000 letters exactly. So I don't know if that helped at all. I don't know if you guys want to thank me. I don't know. So, I'm just, no, it really was just.
No, you can thank me. I told him I was going to show up. I was going to show up and use the bathroom. I will clog that son of a bitch. I will flush out the toilet and sink the goddamn building unless you turn it back on.
Look at John is like, oh.
No. I think they probably just got by with some big company, and soon we're going to be seeing ads and product placement everywhere. Just wait. Just wait.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, you know what? I would say that a lot of people
monetize that shit.
It's gonna be IKEA.
Yeah, but I think that we misunderstand how monetizing a game would work, because like everyone's like, well, we'll just pay a subscription. Well, if everyone paid a subscription, that still would not sustain it, first of all. Secondly, you can't really attract new people, you know, like if you're gonna I have to pay a fee now. I think that's another thing, and I actually don't know if they were allowed to even do that. I know that there were businesses that were using Altspace for different reasons, so that would have been probably a good thing to use. But I can't imagine like a platform that had that many users for VR, you know, going away. And it's like it's such a great, you know, a great app, and there's definitely a use for it. And I did read on TechCrunch, which really annoyed me. They were like, only 35,000 users, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but dude, that's a lot of people to serve.
For VR?
Who,
oh yeah.
Yeah, who really need it, who really love it. I mean, that's a good number. So especially when you can only get like 50 people into a room anyway, you know, at a time. So yeah, okay. Well, it looks like we have some questions here in the audience. Yes, Claire. Claire?
Yeah, I'm here. I've got a very, very strong feeling there's two different people I think who's bought Altspace. It's either Palmer Lucky or Linden Labs. And Linden Labs make Sensor and High Fidelity. So it's either one of them two, and I'd put a bet on it.
Okay, so Claire has an event after this, and she's taking bets. So you can go ahead and go to her event after this and place your bet on who took it. I don't know. I have no idea either.
The Palmer Lucky one, I mean, nothing was said following his little poll that he posted on Twitter, and it was definitely in favor of saving Altspace, so that definitely does have some credit towards it. I don't know about Linden Lands. They just released their open beta for Sandstar, taking advantage of Altspace closing to open it up, get a little bit of publicity out there while there's people struggling to find places, but I didn't really garner what the general consensus was on that program.
Yeah.
I only tried it a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Actually, you're the only one I saw in there, because I went into Sandstar. All I heard was Lou murmuring and just John's voice. And I was like, what? Okay, I know you're in here. Just you're in here somewhere.
Vivian. Vivian.
I see everything.
Yeah.
Vivian.
So, yeah, it was very strange. Yes, Claire.
When I heard that Altspace were closing down, I worked tirelessly for 2 days straight with about 2 hours sleep in between, just compiling a massive email and sending it to people who I thought could rescue Altspace. And I hope when I did that, it's actually saved it, you know. I don't know what you guys think, because I spent the first day I spent from 10 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock in the next morning doing it. Then I got up at 9 o'clock again and did the same. So I kind of hope it made an impact to someone.
Well, we definitely appreciate hearing that. I mean,
yeah, I definitely think it could be a lot of things. I think maybe VR chatters, you know, they're like, oh no, Altspace is taking over. We need to do something. And VR chat about it. Who knows? I do know that once we were back, we heard the news. We all came in and we were like, yay, and then it crashed that night. And we suspect that what happened was everyone signed on to immediately unfriend all the people they immediately friended once they found out the news. Like, oh yeah, I didn't mean to.
I definitely had that problem. A lot of people just randomly adding everyone those last couple weeks, but I think it was just them replugging in all the servers that they unplugged previously.
Okay, all right.
I didn't get any friend requests.
Just saying seriously, but yeah.
Maybe they're slow, but suddenly my list dwindled for some reason. I don't know. So, anyway, nonetheless, we're really, really happy. And I will say, like, to Altspace staff, if you're listening, we do love you guys. And I know that, there was a lot of speculation. There was a lot of things that we said, and I think a lot of it was out of just frustration that, well, they have too many people, and they should do it like this, and they should monetize, and or this is just a prank. And I think that, that was a little cruel to say those kind of things, because these are real people who, like, put their heart and soul into this. And if any of you have ever had the privilege of working, with any of them, Lisa, Bruce, or Steven, Brian, all of them, they, like, just put their, like, whole life into it. And so, like, I think for them it was very frustrating to not know anything and to also hear that that's what people thought. That's kind of what
made it a little bit painful to hear that kind of stuff, because some of the people saying these things knew the people who worked for Altspace still, and yet they still thought that. I mean, it was kind of hard to hear. You obviously don't want to always speak up, but still. I think we should also probably put it out there, we're talking a lot about Altspace, but we have a lot of appreciation for all you here at VR chat. You guys were willing to bring us in while we were looking for a place to still meet up. And there's been a lot of development, I think, between the two communities, and I don't want to see that dissipate with Altspace coming back. I do want to see the two communities get a lot closer. I know there's a lot of both Altspacers and VR chatters out there, Shoo Shoo, Strong Bad, you two jump around a whole lot, I know. And of course Wacko Malt as well, but I do want to see the two communities go closer. I think this has definitely introduced a lot of people to VR chat at the same time, so I'm hoping to see the two communities grow together.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can't, like, even begin to thank the VR chatters, because the minute this happened, I mean, I got messages from people. I don't know, I heard some people, like, kind of talking, like, what about Vivian's show and her avatar? I was like, guys, like, first of all, the show is secondary. I was just after the avatar, and it's in VR chat where I can cross my legs. I'm a lady. It's like, it's like not even a thing, but the VR chat people, like,
you were just sitting here sprawled on the ground like a drunk chick earlier.
Okay, all right, my secret's out. But when I came in here, first of all, Galleon, he was the one that imported my avatar. So thank you so much. Like, he was just like, oh, I'll help you with that. I mean, that's really nice. I know he's John in Altspace. But, like, Ron, he was like, hey, I heard you wanted to do your show. And so they, like, look at this awesome, set they quickly put together for me and for all of us. And Ghoster, who was just like, yeah, I'll help you. I mean, he's been, like, spending hours just, like, helping us stream this into Altspace. And then, you guys came over and played games with us to kind of see our environments. Kimple came over. She wanted to see our different environments to see how she can help us bring it over. And that's just, like, so incredibly awesome. So I don't care what anyone says or what any run-ins you've had. There are so many great people in VR chat, and Altspace. And I will definitely say that for me, my friends that are in the audience, my friends who are in Altspace, like, all of us can say that we will continue to be using VR chat. One, because Rez over here in the green, he loves being his anime girl, so he will always be back. And the way that you guys did karaoke was, like, insane. That was so awesome. Like, how you guys have that syncing technology. That's so cool. Of course, Battle Disc, which apparently I suck at now. Okay. So we're gonna have to have a rematch over that one. But every time we come over here, like Gunter's like helping us arrange things, answering questions, and VR pills, like taking us on tours. It's just like amazing, and I think that the Allspace staff is very touched as well. And I think that this is just actually a plus. If anything, this whole thing that happens, because now we'll be able to do a lot more together and like doing crossing over and doing shows. I will continue to do the Hive so long as you guys will have me, over here, just because I just feel like it was just such a great welcome that, and also, I heard, hearts, okay, I was thinking, they had to produce my show, and they're like, okay, we're just gonna shut it down, so, I'm kidding, but I don't know if we'll be able to do the Hive over in Allspace. I would love to, but, I definitely have found a nice little, like, vacation spot here in VR chat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God! Oh God! All right, we've got some other
Awesome.
All right, so he's not that bad, right? Here he goes. All right, let me go.
You realize you started playing this after most of that speech.
Yeah, you know what happens at the end of that movie, right? Okay. This is a perfect time to play out on. No, I want to... Before we end, are there any questions about, for Allspace or VR chat? Do you guys have any, questions or comments? Claire, I'll get to you in a moment. Is it anyone else? No?
Yes,
Okay.
I have a question.
Claire.
How do I change my avatar?
Well,
Press the triangle.
Down here. No. Claire, do you have a question?
No, I've got an announcement. I've brought my chit chat and music over to this space. And tonight it's going to be a 2-hour special. So the first hour is about paranormal topics. And then the second hour is Matt Moose, Mackenzie. He will, in the Great Pug, be doing a live show tonight. So I hope to get to see plenty of people there afterwards. That'd be really,
awesome.
really good.
And Claire does it. She did events in Allspace, and I think that she's going to continue here and has a big draw. So
yeah,
thanks for that, Claire.
Yeah,
yes,
definitely.
The question.
Definitely.
Not a question as much as a statement. I want to thank all you people that organize these kind of things. You, Vivian, Claire, the people that organized the event last night, and so on and so forth. Without you guys, I mean, we would just come in here and not really have anything to attend. Gunter's Universe, so on and so forth. That's what I like about this place, is there's always something going on. If you feel like listening to people talk, you can. If not, you just go back to the hub and just enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I feel insulted you didn't mention improv night.
Okay, improv night.
Oh my God, improv night was. Oh man, that was actually
let me
really,
fix that
really
for
funny.
you.
I was yes. Go ahead.
So here in VR chat, we welcome everyone who wishes to join here. We have karaoke, we have theater improvisation, we have a meditation. We have some casual places like a giant hill or campfire. We can tell ghost stories there. If there is any problem with the avatars that you wish to have or to make, we will be more than happy to share and help you. So
yeah, thank you.
and we'll help you and stay.
Yeah.
Stay.
And they have a robust Discord group too. So I
think this place could use more hillbilly strippers.
Trust me, there is.
Okay, now he's yours. He belongs to you now.
Where the hell are they then?
You've said it.
I want the ones with the lower back tattoo. That is askew.
Askew.
You have a question comment here from Oddity?
Askew.
Yeah. I just wanted to kind of tag on along that statement and just what you guys were just talking about on stage beforehand about how friendly the people here have been. I mean, Hunter, Alroy, ghosts. It's just kind of been a ton of people. Like say the other night when we were in our Chambers game that we play in Altspace, and then we were just kind of like, yeah, let's play that Battle Disc game, and it was like an impromptu tournament, just totally unplanned. So total chaos. And Gunter was like, yeah, no, I'll help rally the troops. I'll get everyone in here. And I could not have done it without his help.
Yeah, despite his sexy voice, he could not have. Yeah, I remember because Gunter went to go find me. He's like, "Are you lost? You're supposed to be over here." So where I promptly lost. So anyway, rematch. But I know you mean. It is really great. And if you are in VR chat and you've never been over, please get a hold of one of us. We'd love to show you around. And you guys can play some of our games as well. So yeah, Rez is just nodding his head. And I just want to say hi to all of the Altspacers here. Altspacers back home, you want to go ahead and wave at them. They are taking pictures with some of the dolls over there, so don't forget to post that online. And please come to the show next week on Thursday. I have Jay Bonansinga. He wrote the novels for The Walking Dead with Robert Kirkman. Robert Kirkman won't be here, I wish, but Jay Bonansinga will be here. And Invader made this awesome set. It's so cool that we're going to use. And I'm really excited for that. So if you guys want to come in your zombie avatars, I don't know how. I'm kidding. And to all of you guys here, Shushu, Mel Strongbad.
I'm gonna need a custom
hello,
zombie
hey,
now.
how's it going, guys? Any other comments? Anything else? How about just a bunch of hearts and emojis? Some love. Oh, Reg, you got something?
I have a suggestion for something that should be done, and it should totally be story time with the oddity, because I would listen to that man read anything.
No, preferably some Poe.
Get up here and read the phone book.
Yeah, man, just keep doing it.
Well, thank you. Thanks to Sloan, Just John, Mish for coming on, and I do want to thank again Gunter, Kira for this set, Ghoster, Ben who helped, Paul and Megan who are moderating back over at Altspace. The Hive is really a community show where it's everyone's efforts. Oddity actually, he made this graphic here. Everyone kind of like did a little bit of everything, and it's really awesome. And it's just like a fun show. Yeah, John he just looks pretty. So when we do the show, we're gonna actually have a topic every time. That's going to be an overarching topic. Next week is a special guest. We have an author. I do have on the docket some other actors and authors, some like therapists who are going to specialize in certain things, so that we can discuss specific topics and also have engagement from the audience. We're going to play some games, that kind of thing. So today was really just originally speculating about Altspace, and a welcome back to Altspace, and a very big thank you to VR Chat. And we'll definitely have one big party where we can celebrate what happened here and the community that was created because of this. Thank you. I agree. On that note, good night, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out to the Hive. I wish we need music. We need outtake music or something. Yeah.
Play that.
Okay, there we go.
All right, hold on.